Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So yeah, I am back to make my third cross stitch video. I was supposed to make one last Friday. I'm trying to do it once a week, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen every week. So yeah, last week I just wasn't really feeling the greatest. There were a couple of days where I wasn't really stitching last week much either. Yeah, so I wasn't really in the mood to make a video. And then kind of the beginning of this week kind of was the same thing, but then around Tuesday evening, my energy kind of picked up again, and the wheels were turning, and I was coming up with some new ideas with my cross stitch, and just kept working this whole week and kind of developing my ideas and bringing them into reality. So yeah, I've been pretty busy. I've actually been working on making more of the icons, religious icons that I've been showing to you guys in the last two videos. So yeah, I wanted to stop by quickly this evening. It's actually quite late. It's like 9:45. So I'm tired. I have this bloody vein going through my eye. So yeah, I'm not in the greatest mood, but yeah, let's just go with it. Anyway, I am very excited about the little icons that I've been creating this week. As I've already shown to you guys, so my initial idea was to create these little ornaments that I've already shown you guys, and they turned out really, really cute. You know, this stitching takes a bit, it takes a while, maybe a couple of hours to complete, and then you gotta, the cutting out all these little fine details, is kind of finicky, and that takes up a lot of time too. And then by the time you glue the image and you put the little beads on and you put the backing, you've probably spent like 5 hours making this, which I enjoy, but it's time consuming. And I feel like people sometimes don't appreciate how much handcrafted things, how much time it actually takes to make something. And it's definitely undervalued. But anyway, I do it because I enjoy it and I love it. And I like giving these things away as gifts. And also making them for myself. So yeah, my initial little icons started with this idea, okay? But then this week, after my little not the greatest mood week passed by. Yeah, I can't even talk today. I'm so tired. I was playing around. Oh, yeah. So also last week I also showed you guys the cross that I was working on. And I completed my first version, and I'm really, really happy with it. So maybe I should show that first before I show the other little icons I've been working on. So yeah, I just really like how this cross turned out. So yeah, this is what I have. Here it is. This is the cross that I created. So last week I showed you guys, how I painted the cross, and I added these corners, and basically what I did here for the image of Christ, I did the same thing as I did with the little ornaments. I did the same type of stitching, and then of course put the image of Christ, yeah, I actually had to attach it with tiny little nails, because since I backed the ornament and the cross with this kind of velvety fabric, velvet doesn't really like glue much, so I couldn't really glue the ornament to the cross. So I had to make sure to find a way to really secure it on so it would never fall off, you know, unless it got damaged. So I had these really, really tiny little nails, and I was able to put them through the cross stitch paper and secure it on there. Yeah, and then the base that I showed you guys last week, I added these little they're called capuchon, but they're also called like a lace, like metal lace. So I also was able to use the little nails to nail that to the base and make this cross. And I really, really love how it turned out. I have more ideas for different versions of these that I'm planning on making, where I would actually extend the stitching to go all the way down to cover most of the base. But we'll see. It's kind of an idea I have. I have to chart the stitching before I can do it. But yeah, I really love how the cross turned out. And this is one of my favorite icons of Jesus Christ. And I believe it is an icon that is found on Mount Athos in Greece. I just like Byzantine style icons. I think there's something really beautiful about them. I mean, I like all icons, don't get me wrong, but something about Byzantine style catches my eye every time, and I had to include it for this cross. So yeah, that is the cross that I've completed. So yeah, after I completed the cross and the ornament, I was like, let me see what else I can do. How else I can make and display these little icons. So the idea that I came up with next is these tiny little icons that you can hang on your wall or wherever. That almost look like a little clipboard. But I just really like how they turned out. So here it is. This is what I made next. So basically I just took a little scrap of craft wood, painted it the same brown. I love brown. Brown is one of my favorite colors. Brown, green, red, burnt orange red, my favorite colors. Anything earthy, I enjoy. So yeah, this is Saint Michael. And I used one of those little corners again. Almost like a little arch, kind of like a little church arch or roof. And then I also glued one of the little crosses on top. And I did the stitching on perforated paper. And I did a lot of beading. So in the cross, I only used a tiny amount of beads right here where the little cross is. And on the original ones, I used it as a kind of hanging thing. But this time, I decided to stitch a little frame that was gonna go around the icon. And then I also added these gold beads all around. And I absolutely love how it turned out. And again, this is also one of my favorite icons of Saint Michael, Archangel Michael. Absolutely love it. And I knew I had to make it. Yeah, and then I added this chain so that, you know, people can hang it on their wall or wherever they want to add it. So yeah, so that's that one. I love how it turned out. I'm gonna have to make quite a few of these. Okay, and then after I made this one, I was like, okay, Maya, let's make something slightly bigger. because you know, every time you increase, you know you're going to be doing a lot more stitching. So yeah, that's what I did next. I made a slightly bigger icon, and basically one day I ended up in Michael's again, because I go there a lot. It's right next to my grocery store, so or one of the grocery stores. So yeah, when I went there, I found these little wooden boxes, just like a plain little, actually let me show you what it looked like before I started, before I made it into an icon. So basically these little things, so they're like hollow in the back, and then just like a little rectangle thing. So once again, I painted those, and I stitched a much larger frame, added lots of beads, and made it into this beautiful icon of the otokos. And I also had these these are different from the ones I've been using, the frame corners. Yeah, and I was like, I love how I love how it matched the gold in the icon, and I was like, oh, that's a perfect fit. So yeah, and then I stitched the frame, and this time I changed it a little bit. Before I only did the 2 zigzags and the beads, but this time I also added little crosses all around, and I absolutely love how it turned out. And then spent a lot of time fussy cutting to make it look good. Yeah, and then once again use these little nails to kind of attach everything and glue the cross. And I absolutely love this. I think I'm gonna have to keep this one for myself. I'm sure I'll be making a lot more of these. I just want to keep making icons. I don't know why, I think this is like, I'm enjoying it so much. And yeah, I love it. So yeah, this one I'm gonna be keeping. And then after I made this one, I decided to make one more, and this one's gonna be a gift as well. So actually the cross, the Saint Michael hanging, and the second larger icon. So this one I made of the, it's a, oh, guys, sorry, I can't speak today. I'm tired, and I've been in thought all week, so I'm a little bit burned out. I've been writing a lot and just reading and thinking, and when you spend too much time doing that, sometimes you get, you get burned out like you do with anything else. So my mind's a little bit taking a pause to kind of digest everything. It happens. Anyway, but this is an icon of Annunciation. So Archangel Gabriel and Mary. And again, this is also one of my favorite icons. And it's actually in the same style as Archangel Michael. So I think this was the same artist who did both of these icons. I'm gonna say probably Byzantine again, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do more research to really know. But anyway, yeah, so this one's gonna be also a gift. So the cross, this icon, and the Archangel Michael, they're all gonna be gifts. So yeah, and again, I did the same thing as I did with this one. Same exact frame, same exact decoration, and I absolutely love them. So yeah, and yeah, so for these icons, I've just been using photos. So I would print photos, high quality photos. But I'm actually thinking experimenting with printing on fabric. So on canvas, like art canvas. So since I'm going to be making more of these in the future, I think I'm going to play with that medium. I like how glossy these images are, and how crisp the image is. So I'm hoping that if I find a good quality canvas printer somewhere, you know, I will send it for somebody to print for me. That would work then. But I want the images to be, you know, you can see them very well, because sometimes when it's printed on cloth, it kind of comes out as a little too faded, like the images are too faded. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research and see what I can find, but it would be fun to play around with different mediums. Although I am quite happy with this. I think it's turning out beautiful. So yeah, I definitely don't have the gift to paint anything like this. That is not me. I'm a stitcher, not a painter. I wish I could paint, but I can't. So I'm just gonna admire other people's wonderful works and use them to create my own versions, or rather to pay homage to their genius work. So yeah, that is that. And usually I do a second part, which is poetry related, but actually I already posted 2 poetry videos this week, just kind of on their own, because I felt inspired. I was actually working on my grandfather poem this past Monday. It was a really, really rainy day, and I just wasn't feeling the greatest. But for some reason, it was calling to me. So I spent a few hours just working on the second draft, thinking about what I wanted to say in that poem, how I wanted to say it. It's not quite there yet. I think it's probably going to go through like 2 or 3 more drafts before I'm satisfied. But it's getting there. And yeah, I'm definitely not going to force it. It's not something you can ever force. You just kind of have to wait until you feel inspired to keep going with it. So yeah, and yeah, I've just kind of been busy in the house. Actually, not as much as I would like. And I've been listening to a lot of music this week. Different kinds of music. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys like these. I'm so happy with how they're turning out. I have more ideas for different versions. Actually, let me show you guys what I'm gonna do next. The icons I'm gonna do next. These are gonna be even larger. I've already printed images for it, and let me show you guys. I printed quite a lot of photos because I didn't know which ones I was going to use. Oh, where is it? Of course, it's not where it's supposed to be. 1 sec. It's in here because I just printed it recently. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I printed another one of these much larger, so I'm gonna make a much bigger version of it. Same kind of deal. And then for myself, for my own house, I am going to stitch frames for these 2. I'm gonna find actually these, I think as original icons, I think it's supposed to be like this, because I think that's the front of the icon. And then from the research that I did. And then on the back of this icon is actually this image. But I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm gonna find 2 pieces of square wood. I'm gonna make the frames, decorate them. And then I have these fancy hinges, and I'm gonna attach the 2 together. And I'm gonna make it be able to open and close if I wanted to. And then I'm gonna get one of those, it's like a tool that you use to burn into wood, and you can make different decorations. So once these 2 are closed, it's gonna be almost like a book. I'm gonna decorate with that burn tool, and I have a gold leaf as well. So I'm gonna use the gold leaf to accentuate, and probably gonna burn into the wood an Orthodox cross. And I think it's gonna be great. Yeah, so that's gonna be another prototype that I'm gonna make for myself. And then once I kind of figure things out and I have it streamlined, I can make them much, much quicker, and, for other people and things like that, if people want them. But yeah, I'm very excited about these 2. These are beautiful, beautiful icons. Incredible. So that'll be my next project. Forgive me, guys, I can't talk this evening. Like I said, my brain's taking a pause, a little break, and I'm just gonna give it that. Okay, everybody. Have a good evening. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week. If not, the week after that, with more cross stitching and more poetry. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.